Sport and developing world communities. A look at sport and international development. So, what is international development? To understand it, we must talk about aid and development and their origins. But what are the definitions of aid and development? Well, aid is defined as a voluntary transfer of public resources from a government to another independent government, an NGO or an international organisation. And development can be defined as providing help for sustainable growth while expecting returns. But where did aid and development come from? Aid can be traced back to the end of World War II and the beginning of the Cold War. Marshall Plan was made by the US government to help rebuild following World War II and aid countries fight off the threat of communism. Altogether, $13 billion worth of aid was given over 4 years to Greece and Turkey. Some years later, the UN led aid giving, with Nordic countries paving the way for humanitarian aid. This example was soon to be followed by other European countries such as the UK. However, aid never really got into the public eye until the mid-1980s with Band Aid. Now aid is a much more household thing. Development, however, can be tracked all the way back to British colonialism. This is because British colonies were generally under-equipped. Therefore, the British built up the country's infrastructure as it benefited themselves. This meant that the British could easily move goods and military while also maintaining goodwill and power within the colonies. But what about now? Well, in 2000, the Millennium Development Goals were put into place. They were a set of plans to be achieved by 2015, and have now been succeeded by the Sustainable Development Goals, which are to be achieved by the year 2030. Eradicate extreme poverty and hunger, achieve universal primary education, promote gender equality, reduce child mortality, improve maternal health, combat HIV, AIDS, malaria and other diseases, ensure environmental sustainability and develop a global partnership for development. They have been successful over the last 15 years, reducing all of these problems. Here's a short video explaining more about the MDGs. Here is a list of the new Sustainable Development Goals. These are a continuation of the MDGs and incorporate some of the same principles. However, they have included some new ones and there are now 17 rather than just 8. Positives of the SDGs. One benefit is the SDGs promote togetherness to achieve development. They also represent a broader and more realistic outcome. However, the SDGs are raising questions of whether they are trying to cover too much and could therefore struggle to make an impact. But who is involved in making all of this happen? Non-governmental organisations, national governments, the United Nations, and even the sporting governing body. NGOs. They are non-profit organisations. They are free of government influence. They try to help those in need around the world. Maybe you've heard of some of these. National governments and the UN often provide financial and physical aid following disasters. For example, after 2004 tsunami, they donated $6.25 billion to 14 countries. But what's the issues? Miscommunication. Due to lack of communication between different NGOs and governments, it's become very difficult to strive for large improvements together. Each have achieved smaller improvements in all areas. This may be why the MDGs were not fully completed by their deadline. But how can sport help with this? Sport can be extremely influential on developing communities when it comes to a range of different issues. There are tons of sports-led initiatives all over the world targeting a load of different issues. There are already a wide range of NGOs that use sport as their key initiative, and what you can see is just the tip of the iceberg. Look at the impact that sport had on achieving the MDGs. Sport programs help develop skills and increase employability and improve social skills. It can motivate children to enroll in education, and sport provides alternative education options. Girls and women access leadership opportunities and experience, and sport can lead to a positive shift in gender norms that afford women greater safety and control over their own lives. Increased physical fitness improves children's resistance to some diseases, and sport can be used to deliver education regarding health. Please continue to part 2 of the video to hear more.
created using Powtoon.